Our top focus this hour is once again Chandrayaan 3, but this time the people who are celebrating India's success. Now, even as 1.4 billion Indians celebrate this landmark achievement on Indian soil itself of Vikram lander's touchdown on the moon, the United Nations has hosted a very special reception to commemorate the success of the Chandrayaan 3 mission. At the celebrations, Ruchira Kamboj, who is our permanent representative to the United Nations, has stated that it is a remarkable feat and she thinks that the whole of India is rejoicing at this point. Meanwhile, viewers, I would like to remind all of you that as per ISRO itself, all activities of our third lunar mission are on schedule and all systems are normal. Additionally, the Pragyan rover's mobility operations have also commenced and India has taken a walk on the moon, leaving imprints of our national emblem on the lunar surface. Viewers, in fact, if you can see our screen, you can see visuals of India's permanent mission to the United Nations, celebrating, rejoicing and taking great pride on the entire country's success and the entire country making a mark globally. Earlier, of course, I had mentioned that India's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ruchira Kamboj, has stated that it is a remarkable feat. Let's in fact listen in to what she has said.
Scientific community of India, over 1,000 scientists worked on this project. I did want to say that two, three things really stood out for me in this whole chapter. First and foremost, of course, the feat itself, that is truly remarkable, and I think the whole of India is rejoicing today. But I think the second message, which was conveyed by the Prime Minister of India, who incidentally is in South Africa for the BRICS Summit, was that this success belongs to all of humanity. And I think the inbuilt humanity approach, a people-centric approach that India demonstrates from time to time is really the USP of the work that we do across the globe.
Well, there you heard it, viewers. Meanwhile, joining us on the broadcast to discuss more is Group Captain V.N. Jha, a former Joint Director of the DRDO. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us on NewsX once again. You, of course, heard Ruchira Kamboj, our representative to the United Nations. She has hailed the efforts by our scientists to realize this dream of landing on the moon and making a mark globally. And she's also reiterated PM Modi's message that this is not just India's success, but a success for humanity. What is your reaction to this?
Look, this is the moment of rejoice for the entire world. For entire world, this is a moment of success that no one till now had achieved, of having landed at the South Pole or on the polar region of the moon. So it's a moment of rejoice for the entire science community of the world that India has achieved the feat that we are celebrating ourselves. Since United Nations is also directly or indirectly involved into the happenings in this deep space, in the space exploration, in the lunar exploration, planetary exploration. So they also have a joint responsibility to celebrate this Indian feat. So very much Mrs. Kamboj, when she had spoken from the platforms of UN, it goes with the logic. And look what PM Modi said, that all these scientific feats are for the entire world. I mean, he offered there on that from the African platform itself of the BRICS, that it is for the entire, the world. He offered this, that whatever technology we have, we are offering to the entire, even the little known prowess of the science, African nations, many other nations who are yet to go there. So it's a technological marvel that India has achieved through the latest series of R&D, the technological advancement that has gone into there. So it's a moment to celebrate for everyone. And we must know one thing. In science, we say the output is directly proportional to the investment. In the recent years in India, the amount of investment that has gone into the science, whether it is ISRO, whether it is DRDO, whether it is the various university, in today's new education policy, even all the universities of Indian on the Indian soil, they have got substantial amount of funds to carry out the research in whatever form it is there. So the investment of a nation directly translates into the type of objective that you achieve. And what we have achieved in Chandrayaan 3 is directly proportional to the amount of investment into the science that the present government has given, to the ISRO or to other organizations. So that is showing up. Today's India is going to be Atmanirbhar in the defense R&D. You know why? Because that type of investment has gone there. That type of startups have come there, which is taking the loads off the DRDO and the other defense related PSUs or the other private agencies. So all these are happening in New India. It is a great moment to rejoice in entire field. Right now we are talking of ISRO, and in the coming days, as PM announced from Africa itself, that in the coming weeks we are going to see Aditya launch into the space, which is going to study the scientific background of the entire corona and the chromosphere of the sun. It is going to study that. So you will, or all of us in the present generation, we are going to see a lot, because all these amounts of funds of the talent that is coming up through the different universities now in today's world, in today's India, is going to contribute to the Indian prowess of science and R&D. And this is only the beginning of it that we are seeing here.
Yes, sir. Now you've mentioned that a lot is being invested also at this point of time, but I'd also like to highlight another crucial factor. Our mission is also being praised for being very cost effective. This is something I had raised earlier. This mission has costed less than what some major blockbusters in the United States cost. So that is also something rather interesting. Do you think this is testament to India's space prowess?
It is the testament to the India's brain power, I'll say. Space power that has come later, the brain. You can do the cost effective, you can imply the cost effective technology also. And in those days, when Chandrayaan 3 had gone or the Mangalyaan had gone, we had crunch of money. India right in 2040 was just $1.7 trillion economy. How much it could spare for the ISRO, how much it could give to the defense R&D. I was in the defense R&D. I have seen the amount of crunch that we had. So that was a different time. Today, India is fifth largest economy in the world. Now we should get out of that mindset of being miserly onto the cutting edge technologies. There is no harm in giving a last bit of in the large bit of impetus of investment in the R&D sector. It always pays you off. Whichever sector you invest in, whether it is the defense sector or whether it is the space sector or whether it is some other MSME or any other sector, it will pay you off directly proportional to your investment. Today's India is right now we are almost about $4 trillion economy, and in the coming year, PM Modi has given an objective of achieving the $5 trillion economy. So when all these are going to be happening, we should come out of that mindset of being miserly. Yes, those days when we had crunch of funds, we couldn't send a heavier rocket, we couldn't send a larger mass of the spacecraft to the moon. So with those limited amount of fuel that Chandrayaan 1 or Chandrayaan 2 had gone there, or even Chandrayaan 3 went onto the same trajectory, except that the Chandrayaan 3 had larger amount of fuel into it. That is what paid off finally. when it came down close to the earth and was trying to find out a place for its landing, flat place for its landing in those last few seconds that we saw. Why did it happen? It happened only because additional amount of fuel was there in the spacecraft and it could burn those fuel. That extra mass was there. Why was that extra mass being carried out? Because we had the larger carrying capacity of the LVM. So, all these are directly related to it there. Chinese, they celebrate, they could send that Changi to the moon surface, which went there, collected the sample, and had enough fuel to come back to the earth. So all this amount of investment that the Chinese had into it, because China today is about 15, 16 trillion dollar economy, and where we were about 1.7 trillion dollar in 2014. So it is the government of India, Modi government especially, when it has made that mind that okay, let's move to the economic power. So from 1.7 trillion dollar today we are at 4 trillion dollar. I think investment that miserly looking at the technology are the stages of the past now. We should move away from there. Today's funds to the ISRO, to the DRDO is far in excess what we could have thought of in those days of the early 21st millennium or even before that. So we should have come out of that mindset. Now let's think big. Let's go for the bigger objective. And that is where the science will, progress in absolutely exponential matter. Exponential achievements will be there, and the result will be there for everyone to see. Yeah.
Indeed, sir. It is rather interesting because even as we're conversing right now, some rather interesting images have been released. Yes, right here, ISRO has in fact just tweeted an image of the moon from one of the cameras. This is the orbiter high resolution camera. I'm showing it right here on my screens. I'd request the team upstairs to showcase my screen to our viewers. Yes, indeed, there it is. This is a tweet which has been made merely 10 minutes back, and ISRO has written that the orbiter high resolution camera of the Chandrayaan 2 orbiter has captured our Vikram 3 lander. Right here you can see this little white dot that has been marked out by ISRO, and they have zoomed in on your screens, viewers. This is the latest image release. This has been clicked by Chandrayaan 2's orbiter high resolution camera. It has spotted our Chandrayaan 3's Vikram lander on the moon. It is this little white spot that I'm circling, and the one which has been highlighted in a yellow box by ISRO. The zoom in picture, of course, over here you can see the craters around the moon. You can see the undulated terrain of the moon right here. In fact, a rather interesting message has also been written. It says, "I spy you," with a smiley emoji right over here. This camera, I'd like to tell my viewers a little more about this camera. This is the camera with the best resolution that anyone currently has around the moon. And this has spotted the Chandrayaan 3's Vikram lander on the moon. Right there, visuals on your screens for all you viewers to see. Group Captain Jha, this is a rather heartwarming moment at this point. India has come a full circle, it seems like. What is your reaction to this?
Absolutely. Look, all these are showing up. What I'm telling you, the progress in the technology, what has gone into the Chandrayaan 3, is showing up. I mean, you are only seeing the glimpses of it. The world or the public platform, the public media, public domain is seeing only the glimpses of it. In the coming weeks and months, more of such things will be given to us by ISRO, because lot many things have gone into 3. And yeah, today I was under a bit of a surprise, because everyone in the world today have a moment to rejoice. You mentioned about Mrs. Kamboj from the UN platform. There is a bit of a humorous technological, political narrative being built in the world over. Some British are cherishing that had A.O. Hume not formed the Congress, Gandhi, Nehru wouldn't have come there, India wouldn't have been liberated, and the Chandrayaan would not have been there. Congress is celebrating. Had Nehru not formed the INCOSPAR those days, Indian National Space Research, then Chandrayaan wouldn't have been there. So there is another cartoon coming up here that the Nehruji had sent the blueprint of the design of Chandrayaan 3 from the heavens, and onto that is what has made the ISRO to achieve this marvelous feat. So politico-technological turn is coming up there. It's the world is today very humorous, and the social media has made it absolutely humorous. But coming back to the question, again, I re-emphasize the technological prowess, the scientific prowess of a nation is directly proportional to its people, the scientific investment, and that investment is happening in today's India because we are no longer constrained with that $1.7 trillion economy. We are far in excess of that, and the present government has realized it. That investment into these sectors are directly giving you the output, the type of output that you are looking. So you must develop that scientific mindset into everyone, that our university must try to do those type of research, R&Ds, technological development, that tomorrow's India, tomorrow's science, tomorrow's technology will benefit with this, and that will go into it. And in brief, I continue telling everyone that whatever we do in the science today will have two dimensions in the coming years. One is the vertical, another is the horizontal. Vertical is the one in which you keep on adding on. You can continue adding on to the technological marvel that you achieve. So more and more marvel you achieve. Today we have gone for the soft landing onto the moon, onto the South Pole. Tomorrow, the same technology can take us for the soft landing onto the Mars. You can be sure about it, though technologies are different. Moon is without atmosphere, Mars has got the atmosphere. So the similar, the add-ons onto the technology will continue taking us to the future fronts and fronts of success. That is one. And horizontal is the one what I was talking that what technology is there with us. It has got the potential to commercial applications. Today you must have heard that LVM is being hired by the Japanese. That vehicle, the rocket launcher, is being purchased by Japanese and many others. The technology what has gone into Chandrayaan 3 will be acquired or will be purchased by many other countries who want to send their craft to the South Pole or somewhere else. So the commercial aspect of the investment today, that the horizontal that we are talking of, is going to yield you a lot. So this is the area where we excel. We are right now onto the upfront of the technology, and our scientists are proving it there. Because look, there is no shortcut in the technology. There is no shortcut into the achievements of the far excellence. So that is where right now we are dwelling onto it. And I wish ISRO, I wish the scientific community of India and the world to continue marching onto the front that we are likely to face in the tomorrows. The several years, several centuries of tomorrows that we should start thinking from now, and wishing entire scientific community of India the very great congratulations of this success moments, and rejoice it.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.